even though it's more wider, damage by doing the fires more often. I think overall, having those spike damage, the spike of it reduced, is just the safer play. Even if it does make it go a bit longer and causes you to have to like lose a bit of DPS for like mobility reasons, dodging ghosts, it's definitely the safer play.
Yeah, most definitely. I would say that honestly, it's just if you can hold off the damage and make it certain spikes and then have that lust so that you don't have to deal with those damage spikes as frequently. Yeah, I see that going. But when you don't have the lust, adapting it like they did to just make it smaller but more frequent bursts of damage, right? And with their comp that seemed very mobile, I think it was the right way to go. But now we're watching here aggressively Average, who seem to be pushing pretty well. A 20 Blackrock hold here. We see them now trying to move towards the last boss. They could, I think, from the what I'm seeing on the UI, they could get a 3+ on this. Is that right?
Yes, they've got 5 minutes on the free test. They've got 5 minutes on the free test, and it is in that 20 range. But as we have learned, the real test will be once they get into Ravencrest. God damn, those shadow volleys hurt.
Yeah.
And the thing is, usually I wouldn't be too concerned at around that sort of like 20 range, but they have Warlock, Priest, Mage. So they have varying degrees of defensives, but outside of those dedicated cooldowns, those are some low health pools. So they're more susceptible to those sort of spikes that come out with the Shadow Bolt volleys.
I am seeing here, we got the Discipline Priest going through. So that's going to be hopefully a good amount of DRs that they can use aggressively. I did not see the space between that priest butt and that laser. They scared the crap out of me. Oh wow, that is laser tight precision on
that. Yeah, that was
positioning there.
I would never. I overcommit to mechanics.
But I think, if we're talking about this fight, it is kind of that battle of inches. You got to make sure that make sure everybody is topped up and healthy between these mechanics, which means minimizing movement like that is going to do a lot of good. So here we go. That's the barrier coming out. This is the Shadow Valley. They weathered it a lot better. The Warlock's health basically didn't move. Seems really good there. And then you see the darkness coming out afterwards to deal with the dots following up. And I think that this team kind of came prepared for this in how they are handling it. They dropped the swarm in the middle of the dungeons, or rather the middle of the arena, so it's not blocking anything. They've already moved their position well so that they are able to avoid this torrent of lasers. Everybody's
also popping the lust early. Maybe just as a consideration for that first Shadow Bolt volley where nobody has that Ravencrest buff. Might have been a conscious decision as well. But we're definitely seeing the difference between a 20 and a 26 when it comes to the scaling of damage. You hear +5, +6, and it might not immediately click in your head the difference between those key levels, but you can definitely see the damage, just the damage output of the bosses.
Gone, and we end it with a donation from Mansuki, $5. Thank you so much for your donation to the Make-A-Wish International.